Hello guys and welcome to another video. As you saw, 11.2 PTR is out, so it's being tested. There are a lot of changes, so we're gonna go run through it very fastly in game. So what's new for Blood, Frost, Death Knight? So first of all, when we open the talent tree on the left side, we notice Unholy Ground. It's now called Unholy Momentum and it increases your haste by 2% all the time. So it's no more 5% when you're in your Death and Decay, but you get 2% increased haste all the time if you take this talent. For Deathbringer, there's a change regarding Reaper's Mark. Basically, your exterminate is no more applying Reaper's Mark. So once you use Reaper's Mark, you get 2 exterminates. Those exterminates no more are able to apply another Reaper's Mark. So it's a huge nerf for PvP, for Deathbringer specifically. Doesn't matter if you play Blood or Frost. However, it has a 25% chance to summon a dancing rune weapon for 6 seconds for Blood. For Frost, your first exterminate strike is giving you killing machine. On the Blood talent tree, we literally see no change at all. The only thing what's new is price of progress. What this does, it replaces your Death Advance. You keep sacrificing like 1% of your HP. So as you see in PvP, that's like 150k as a blood decay. Doesn't really matter to us if we're gonna lose HP because we're just gonna heal up. What this does though, you cannot be slowed anymore below 90%. Basically you're immune to force movement effects. This makes you immune as well to death grip. You cannot be knocked back, so they cannot throw you off cliffs. So for Battleground this is gonna be definitely great. If you take this talent, that's Echo, you will still have only to activate and disable it. You can all the time enable disable. There's no global cooldown to it. So as you see, I'm using other abilities and I can just enable disable to not get CC'd. So do not take this talent if you're gonna use price of progress, because it's just a waste of one of your talent points. Now another thing what I noticed is Arch of Darkness, which usually gives you for 3 seconds 25% increased movement speed, but if you use Price of Progress, you're getting overall all the time 5% increased movement speed. So as you see, I have 109. With March of Darkness, I have 114%. For Sand Lane, what's new is the blood is live. You summon the beast when you use Dancing Rune Weapon. So it's no more a proc chance that that beast, blood beast, just appears before you and starts dealing some damage. No, it's only spawning when you use Dancing Rune Weapon. For PvP, honestly, not so terrible, because then you will basically have it active when you are bursting using your blades. Now, Pact of the Sand Lane, this one is pretty nerfed. It says it stores only 10% of all shadow damage dealt into a blood beast to explode for additional damage when it expires. I think this should be 25% for blood and 10% for unholy. I think this might be a tooltip bug. The other thing that did get a tiny change is Infliction of Sorrow. Now after your Gift of the Sand Lane ends, additionally you get a charge of Death and Decay. For Frost Decay, regarding the main hero talent tree, there is literally no change for Apocalypse. Everything is the same. The only difference is for Deathbringer, as I said, Exterminate no more reapplies Reaper's Mark. So you have Reaper's Mark only when you click Reaper's Mark. So basically Deathbringer, your first Exterminate no more applies Reaper's Mark, and we lose tons of Reaper's Mark damage like this. So for me, myself, I think this is a huge nerf for PvP. First Exterminate now just gives you a free killing machine. Now on the right side, here we have a lot of changes. First of all, killing machine. Here nothing was changed. Besides, we still have the 2 stacks, so we can have up to 2 killing machines. Glacial Advance is now baseline. Holy Blast, nothing is changed. Now Frostbite has been moved over here, so basically if you want to get Biting Cold, you have to take Frostbite, which I honestly don't really like. And Power Rune Weapon. This has been totally reworked. It has a 30-yard range. It now deals Shadow Frost damage. does AoE damage as well, but reduced. You get 40 runic power on use and killing machine. It has 2 charges, 30-second recharge time. It's affected now by global cooldown, so it's pretty much like as if you were pressing obliterate. It's not like before. Arctic Assault has been moved up here, so when you consume killing machine, a glacial advance is being fired out in front of you. Runic overflow, now this is just flat damage increase for Frost Strike and Glacial Advance. We had something similar to this already for Frost Strike. Now Frostbound Will, consuming Rime reduces the cooldown of Empower Rune Weapon by 4 seconds. So even these 30 seconds you will additionally reduce the cooldown. So you will have even more Empower Rune Weapon. Windows to use. Runic Command. Now this has one additional new effect. It increases rune regeneration rate by 15%, which I really like, to be honest. Biting Cold is the same. Gathering Storm is the same. Runic Strikes, so flat damage increase to obliterate 10% and Frost Sight 8%. Frost Reaper, I actually found this ability really nice, but when I saw you have to cast Frost Sight to actually deal this damage, this is gonna be absolutely useless in PvP. I don't know why they even put it here when Frost Sight is all over here. So why not put this over here, maybe? Since this is forcing you to use Frost Sight, like this damage is not gonna proc if you do not use Frost Sight. Right now we have the tier set, but in the new season you will not have it, so it's absolutely a useless talent for PvP. If the damage would proc from Obliterate, then it would be dope, but from Frost Sight, absolutely trash. That's my opinion. Pillar of Frost, now this increases your strength by 12%. In PvP, it's not 30. Icy Onslaught, now this is increasing your Frost Strike and Glacial Advance damage by 15% and it's caused by 5 more runic power. This does stack, but if your runic empowerment procs, you basically lose the stack on your next cast of Frost Strike. And if you do not know what runic empowerment is, that's basically this one, which has a 1.6% chance to instantly grant you a rune for each runic power you spend. Now this was 2%, this has been nerfed to 1.6% as well. But as I said before, we are getting here like a 15% increased regeneration rate for the rune, so that kinda compensates the loss. Now Frigid Executioner, this has been reworked as well. You know, we had it over here. Obliterate had a chance to grant you 2 runes, now it has a 20% chance to refund 1 additional rune from your runic empowerment. And the 15% damage increase has been removed, so 15% damage nerf for Obliterate. Now Holding Blades, Rime empowered Holding Blast unleashes 2 icy blades at its target that deals some frost damage, and it has a 15% chance to grant Killing Machine. Ineruxible Assault, this has been changed a bit. Now Obliterate and Frost Sight consumes up to 3 stacks to deal additional frost damage for each stack consumed. Enduring Strength is literally the same. Frostworm, the cooldown has been reduced to 1.5 minutes from 3 minutes, and now it stuns. So basically we lose the Frostwhelp damage, but the mastery bonus we are getting from the Frostworm now, which can as well be up to 40%, 8% per enemy's hit. Rage of the Frozen Champion, this was as well over here, now it's over here, and it has a 15% chance to trigger Rime, and Holding Blast generates 8 runic power while Rime is active. Now, Murderous Efficiency, consuming Killing Machine effect has a 20% chance to grant you 1 rune. Cryogenic Chamber, now this has been a bit reworked. If you take this talent, your Remorseless Winter will become a passive ability. So no more clickable, but it activates when you cast Pillar of Frost, and it lasts 4 seconds longer. Now you can combine that with PvP talent that's called Embrace, and then you will have 1 minute anytime you use Pillar of Frost, Remorseless Winter, or if you do not, then it's gonna have a 45-second cooldown. And without it, of course, Remorseless Winter has a 20-second cooldown. Bone Grinder, it's the same. Killing Streak is new. Obliterate, Frost Sight consume our killing machines to deal 25% increased critical strike damage and grant 1.5 haste for 8 seconds
for each stack consumed. Multiple applications may overlap. So if you consume 2 killing machines at once, obliteration. So while Pillar of Frost is active, Frost Strike, Glacial Advance, Holding Blast always grant killing machine and have a 20% chance to generate a rune. Additionally, during Pillar of Frost, Empower Rune Weapon causes your next Obliterate or Frost Sight to cost no runes. So if you use Empower Rune Weapon while you have Pillar of Frost, your next Obliterate or Frost Sight is gonna cost no runes. Smothering Offense is the same. Icy Death Torrent the same. The Long Winter is the same. Avalanche is the same. Shattering Blade is the same, only that when Glacial Advance damages his enemy, it applies Razor Eyes. So basically they removed the passive applying of Razor Eyes. You have to talent this to get this effect. And we have Frostbane. Passive. Casting Glacial Advance has a chance to make your next Frost Strike cost 40 less running power and transform into Frostbane. Start a frozen onslaught that strikes twice, unleashing the chilling essence of winter, dealing frost damage to all enemies caught in its wake. With each strike, each enemy struck reduces the damage dealt to the next foe by 5% down to 40%. This ability animation looks cool, but come on, casting Glacial Advance for PvP? Absolutely freaking useless. Totally useless talent. Why didn't they make it at least so that casting Obliterate has a chance to make your next Frost Strike cost less running power and transform into Frostbane? Now Biting Gold Gathering Storm is the same. North Winds Holding Blast now hits an additional target with maximum effectiveness. Rime increases Holding Blast damage done by an additional 75%. Everfrost. This has an additional passive effect. Now Rime Empowered Holding Blast deal 50% increased damage to secondary targets. Icebreaker is the same. Hyperpyrexia is the same. And Breath of Sindragosa has been fully reworked. It now works just like Evoker's Fire Breath, only that it grants a charge of Empower Rune Weapon when you cast it at the start and 2 runes at the end. It has a 2-minute cooldown. This cooldown is less if you charge it up only to the first or second level, and of course it's still draining your runic power each second. PvP talents, absolutely no change, and that's it for Frost.
Beneath the ice and snow, a legend awakens. I am Arthas, the Lich King ruler of the damned master of Frostmourne.